Right, we're starting off in our child's pose today. So our goal is to kind of gently get some spaciousness in the hips and the low back. So if you feel constricted or tight in any way around your hips, low back, legs, take your knees kind of wide. And you can even rest on your elbows. Sometimes if you give yourself a little time to settle into your child's pose, it's a lot more pleasant. And sometimes some little rocks side to side also help. So I just want you to take your sweet time relaxing into this child's pose. Let your eyes close. Let your breath become very big and slow and long. Maybe eventually allowing your forehead to come all the way down. So we want to enter this practice with a mindset of kind of just accepting where we are today, and letting that be perfect, letting everything be just as it should. And whatever we're observing at this moment in the body and the mind and the breath, we're going to trust that all of that is just as it should be. And take some time here just to observe yourself with compassion and fascination. Notice where you feel your body the most in this posture. Okay, your hips and low back, your shoulders. What are you noticing? Hopefully you feel a really pleasant expansion across the back, front, and sides of your body as you inhale deeply. Filling up all the spaces between your hips and your shoulders. And with your exhale, please notice the strength in your torso, everything pulling inward toward the center. You want to clean out your lungs there. Allow the breath to be loud in your ears. And maybe you notice that as you breathe deeply like this, maybe some tension melts out of your hips and your back. And maybe you notice your body getting a little warmer with this warming breath. And let's just start to wake this child's pose up a little bit. So let's start to wake up and involve the upper body, reaching your hands out. Bring in your tiger claw hands. So strong hands grip the mat and actively push into it, right? So feel your armpits and your chest wake up. And you might experiment. I like to do a little rolling side to side here. If you just turn your head one side to the other, you get a really nice twist in your upper back. So a nice gentle spinal twist. And hopefully also allowing you some expansion in armpits, chest, and shoulders. And then let's add in a little side bend here. So let's walk the hands out to the left. Remember, keep your arms active here. And for a little extra special opening in that right side, push down into your hands and push on that right hip, like you're trying to press the right hip away from your hands. Deep breaths into the right set of the ribs. So I want you to feel all the spaces between your ribs, like you're breathing through gills there. Let's do the other side. So hands through center, over to the right, pressing into the hands very strong now. We can pull back on the left hip. So big spaciousness in the left side, please. Breathe into that. Notice which side might be a little bit more special. Okay, do you tend to collect your attention in one side more than the other? Chances are you do. Let's bring the hands back through center here. Okay, pull yourself up to hands and knees. And let's take some cat-cows here. So bring in more mobility to your spine. With your hands gripping strong, spread your fingers wide. So you want to see a lot of floor between your fingers. And then actively grab the mat. Pull your elbows inward, and we're ready to move the spine. So heart moves forward on the inhale. You're lifting your belly button while you do that. And push the floor away. Exhale. And we'll take a few more rounds of breath like this. Just follow the pace of your breath. Close your eyes here. Okay, really intentionally finding little places in your spine that might be sticky or sore, rolling sideways into them. Feel free to really hang your head and shake it out, releasing any tension in your neck every time you push the floor away. All right, let's meet back at a flat back. So back at center, back is flat. Let's pick up the right knee. So right knee is up, and we'll start to gently circle the hip out. And just for the first few rounds of hip circles, let's do our best to keep the right hip low and level with the left. Okay, notice how you might be a bit limited in your circle range if you do that. I just want to warm up the hip joint and all the little muscles that attend and support it. Let's rewind these circles. Okay, now we're going to pick up the right hip. We're going to actively open and stack it. We're going to use all of the range of motion we have available to make the most big, ridiculous circles with this knee. Okay, get your abs involved. Get that knee out there. And let's rewind it. All right, next time the knee is out behind you, let's pause there and extend that right leg. So right leg is long. I'm going to have you put extra weight in your right hand here. Remember to keep a really strong tiger grip with that right hand. Let's reach forward with the left. So here we are in a bird dog. So I want you to start to really wake up your core here, pull that belly button up and in. And do your best to keep the right knee and the right hip pointing down. So internal rotation, right? And long on your inhale. We're going to start to warm up your back a little bit. So here we go. Inhaling here, reach out long. As you exhale, let's do a funky airplane. So send your right knee out to the right, like a little funky airplane wing. Your left elbow out to the left. Bent, okay, lifting. Inhale back to center. Exhale, funky airplane. Again, right knee out to the right, left elbow to the left. Again, inhale to center. Exhale, funky. And let's hold here in a funky airplane for 3 breaths. You can drop a hand, you can drop a knee. So whatever's appropriate for you. 2 more breaths. Push that floor, lift from your back body. 1 more breath here. Go ahead and drop the left hand. Okay, extend the right leg again. We're going to flex that right foot. Drop the toes, and we'll transition to a supported side plank from here. So if you simply pivot on that left knee and point the left toes to the left, the right heel will probably naturally come down, and you can reach up with your right hand. And here we are in one of my favorite little simple postures, a supported side plank. So take some time to arrange yourself. I just want to point out that ideally your left hand, your left knee, and your right foot are all in the same straight line with each other, okay? So let's warm up this right shoulder. Extend through the right arm, strengthen and lengthen, and we'll circle out the right shoulder. Okay, do your best to isolate this movement. So try not to let your whole torso come along with it. Want to feel that shoulder waking up, and let's rewind that. Okay, next time that right arm is up, pause there. Let's lift up the right leg. Okay, and I just want to get a little playful here with you. So go ahead and release any expectations, and I just want you to play around with me here. So the right leg is up. Just test its weight. Feel how heavy it is. It's pretty heavy. It's a really significant chunk of your body weight, isn't it? Okay, so remember at any time you can rest it on the floor if you get a cramp or if it's overwhelming. But try coming up on your left fingertips. Okay, send your right arm over to the right as well so you can use the weight of your right arm. And we're going to attempt, keyword attempt, we don't have to succeed today, but we're going to attempt to balance on the left knee. Okay, so let's come up left fingertips. Maybe let's lift one of the left fingertips. Maybe we lift 2 of the left fingertips. Maybe we're just using 1 fingertip at this point. And at some point, you might like to experiment with lifting that entire left hand and just balancing on your left kneecap. Now try it several times, maybe 5 or 6 or 7 times. And don't worry about what happens. It's not important what happens. It's important that you attempt and you play. All right, maybe 1 more shot here. Keeping that core control, so belly button wrapping inward to give you control. And we'll let that go. So back on your left fingertips, back down to your supported side plank. And after that little bit of effort and strength, let's reward ourselves with a great stretch, reaching that right hand far away from the right foot, grounding the outer edge of that right foot especially. Enjoy a big stretch in your right side. And we'll take a few more breaths here. Remind yourself to lengthen your spine, keep the belly button moving inward. And maybe even cactus the right arm and bend in the elbow to peel your chest open a little bit. One more big breath into that right side. And we're letting it go. So spiral yourself back down to hands and knees position. And just a little palate cleanser here. Let's come up to a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips. Pedal it out in a very informal downward facing dog. You can shake your head, yes. No, roll your shoulders, waggle your hips. All the little things you like to do in a down dog. And from here, my friends, I'm just gonna bring us back down to hands and knees where we were. So this time we'll do the other side. So let's get the left knee up. Keeping the hips level for now, let's just warm the hip up and circle it out. Let's rewind that. So notice if you have to use maybe a few different muscles to keep the hip level here than when you open it up. Okay, speaking of opening it up, let's open up the hip now. Pick it up, stack it over the right. Widen that knee circle as big as you can. And let's rewind that. All right, that hip is a little warmer. Let's go ahead and extend the left leg out behind. So make sure that you're doing your best to internally rotate that left hip. You're engaging your core, wrapping your belly button up and in. And you can always do this with two hands down, of course. Okay, if one hand up is too much, but grip the floor really strongly with your left hand. Reach forward with your right. So set yourself up for success here. We have a really strong sensation in the front of the body as you push the floor away. And we also have strength in the back body as you lift your heavy arm and leg. So stick with me here. We're going to do a funky airplane. So inhaling long in this position. As you exhale, right elbow to the right, funky airplane wing, left knee to the left. Okay, inhale back to center. Long and strong. Exhale, funky airplane. Lift and push. Again, inhale, back to center. Exhale, funky. And hold here in funky with me. 3 breaths. Lift the back, push the front. You can always bring something down, okay? 2 more breaths. See if you can smile while you do it. Last one. Very nice. Right hand down, left leg out long. We're transitioning to another supported side plank. So let's pivot on the right knee. Okay, we'll drop that left arch to the floor, press the left outer edge of the foot down, and we're reaching up with the left hand. Supported side plank, my friends. I'll spin around to face you. Okay, take your time getting comfortable, putting the knee right where it needs to be, lining up your hand, right knee, left foot, all in a straight line. You could use a ruler to just draw a line between them. Nice stretch in your right side or in your left side. Okay, so we're doing all this on the left. So let's activate the left arm. I like to think of pushing out through the bones and pulling in through the muscles to activate the whole of the limb. And we'll circle it out. Isolate it, okay? Feel every single muscle that moves your shoulder. Notice it getting a little warmer, maybe a little softer. And let's rewind that. All right, left hand is reaching up. Let's pause there. And here's where we're going to play around with that same little kind of funky balancing posture. So when we start to balance, we need to just let go of our expectations. So let them all go. Just remember that we're playing and we're having a good time. But strengthen your core. It's going to be super useful here as we balance. Belly button always pulling into spine. So we're coming up with that left leg. Just feel its weight. It's big, isn't it? Okay, see if we can send the left arm out to the left too to help counterbalance the bigger weight of your upper body. Come up on your right fingertips. And then you'll have to feel this out. What's right for you today? You'll kind of lift one fingertip at a time. Maybe you are eventually just on one fingertip of your right hand. Pull that belly button inward, so core control, and we'll start to attempt to balance on that right knee. Okay, we have no expectations. We're just enjoying it. So I'd say maybe try 5 or 6 times, okay? Remember to breathe. Remember to have a good time. All right, keep it going. Maybe 1 or 2 more really good tries. Play around. And then we'll have the right fingertips back down, the left foot back down, and come down on that right palm. We're going to treat ourselves to a great stretch across the left side now, reaching very far out with that left hand. Deep breaths into the left side. Close your eyes if they're not already. Feel the long spine, your long neck. As you're ready, guys, we're transitioning back to hands and knees. So just spin yourself back down, hands and knees. And then I'll meet you again in a downward facing dog. So your toes are tucking, your hips are lifting, and we're gonna just make this one really kind of informal. Walk your heels out, shake everything out. I like to do a little sway of the hips, side to side, to get the low back a little opened up. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and walk to your hands. So see if you can just walk up there towards your hands. Once you get there, put a really generous bend in your knees, and we'll just hang a little bit. So really letting your head hang. It's so important that we let our spines hang in traction like this every day. Okay, we want to bring back the length that we lose when our spines get compressed during the day. So you may even want to grab your elbows, sway, find some space in your spine. Okay, we're gonna roll up. So as you're ready, release your hands. If you were holding your elbows, push into your heels here. A long, slow inhale as you rise up. You're thinking of stacking your vertebrae. Reach up extremely tall when you get there. Lift your heart. And exhale here. Sit down into a chair squat. So drop your hips as you try to lift your heart. You have a squeeze between your knees so your legs are strong. Inhale back up to standing. Exhale here, we're folding. So hinge at your hips. You're free to bend your knees, okay? Palms come down. On your inhale, come halfway up. Unroll your spine as you look forward. Your hands on the floor or even on your knees. Okay, as you exhale, fold all the way down again. Your palms are on the floor, so you can inhale and step it back to a plank. With your exhale, lower yourself slowly all the way down. One very nice cobra here. As you inhale, grab the floor with your hands, pull your heart up, pull, pull, pull. And exhale, push it back to downward facing dog. I'll meet you here. So let's take 5 or 6 breaths in this downward facing dog. We'll make this our first official down dog. And in your down dog, I want you to remember that you can bend your knees more or less to suit you and your hamstrings. Try to spin your heels so you can't see them. And pull your elbows so that they're spinning in toward each other, like you wanted to hold a yoga block between your elbows. And then please give the floor a generous push with your hands and a generous push with your feet. All right, my friends, let's keep moving. Please remember to modify and take breaks at any time. All right, with your inhale, let's get the right leg up and out behind. Send it up there. With your exhale, right knee forward. See if you can drop that foot between your hands. And it's okay if you have to take a couple steps. Drop the back knee here. We're coming up to a low lunge. So both hands up, big breath in. As you exhale here, drop your fingertips on either side of your right leg. Pull your hips back. Point your right toes at your nose. So we're getting a nice stretch on the back of the leg here, back of the right leg. Back up to your low lunge on your inhale. Right foot on the floor, lunge. Inhaling, reach up. Big front body stretch. Again, exhale, fingertips down. Moving to your half Hanumanasana. Pull the hips back. Toes point at your nose. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Okay, so you see what we're doing. We're moving between these two postures. Now I want you to kind of take it at your own pace. Take a few more. Just move with your breath. Inhaling, big, open front body. Exhaling, big, open back body. Maybe 2 more times, just like this, at your pace, no rush. And then next time you're up in your low lunge, I'd like to just take a little time right here. So if your hands up are comfortable for you, hang right there. If you need a little extra support, you can always put your hands on your right leg and kind of push. And I find that gives just a little extra oomph to your posture. But if you like here, you can make some cactus arms, okay? Drop your shoulder blades down and together and think of lifting your rib cage upward with your strong shoulder blades. Okay, no matter what variation of this lunge you are in currently, do press against the floor a little bit with your strong legs so you're active in your lower body. Now we'll take 3 more breaths here, okay? One last really good breath, okay? Lift your heart. And we're letting it go now. So all hands down around that right foot. Tuck the back toe. Back knee comes up. Let's send it back to a downward facing dog. I'll take a moment or 2 here, just noticing how that felt. And we'll take a little vinyasa in between just to clear that out. So here we go. Feel free to skip the vinyasa, of course, if you'd rather just take a little break. Inhaling here, find a plank. And you can hop or step to your hands, yogi's choice, and fold. Roll it up on your inhale, just like we did before, lifting your heart way up high. Exhale, sit down into a chair squat. So pull that belly button in, pull your knees together, look up. Inhale to stand, little back bend maybe, and exhale, fold, hinge. Halfway up, inhale. Big fold, exhale. Palms are down. Inhale to plank. You can hop it or step it. And exhale all the way down. One very nice cobra on your inhale. Heart up, hips down. And exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll take 5 or 6 breaths here, yogis. It's a nice posture to kind of calibrate ourselves before we go into another round of movement. So we're rooting down through the strong leg bones. We're pushing out through the strong arm bones. And we have an inward engagement between the elbows and the knees. And of course, we're breathing. And see what it feels like to add a little smile to this posture. Are you ready for the other side? Let's go. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhaling here, see if you could drop the foot between your hands. It's okay if you have to step a couple times. Back knee comes down, heading to that little low lunge, half split flow. So inhaling here, arms up. We have a little low lunge. Heart moves up, front body opens up here. Exhaling, fingertips down around the left leg. We pull the hips back, point your toes at your nose, and you're opening up your back body here. So inhaling back into that low lunge, just like we did before. Exhaling, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So you know what? Maybe close your eyes here. See how it feels? Anjaneyasana. Ardha Hanumanasana. I want you to feel that dance, that opening of the front body, inhale. Opening of the back body, exhale. Maybe two more just like this. And next time you're in your low lunge, okay, your Anjaneyasana, hold here with me. Let's just enjoy this. So remember, you have options. You can even put your hands down on the floor and you're still in a lunge. Hands on the left leg is a nice option. Okay, I like the goalpost arms option because it helps to open up this tight chest that most of us do get throughout the week, okay? So shoulder blades can slide together and down, and you think of using your shoulder blades to lift your rib cage up, but we need to keep that lower body active no matter what variation of the lunge you're in. So do give the floor a little push with your legs. 3 breaths here, okay? Allow warmth to build. Allow tension to melt from your legs. 1 more breath. Maybe a smile. Let it go. Hands down around your left leg. Let's see if we can bring this back to down dog. So tuck the right toes, hover the right knee, down dog. Take a breath or two here. Notice how your body feels. And let's put a little vinyasa here. Okay, so inhaling here, heart forward. Exhale, hop or step to your hands and fold. Roll it up, inhale, big heart moves up as your heels root down. And exhale into your chair squat. Inhale back to standing, tiny back bend maybe. And exhale, big fold all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, unroll. Big fold on your exhale. Palms are down here. Inhaling back to your plank so you can hop it or step it. And exhale all the way down. Very nice cobra here on your inhale. Root down through your hips as you lift your heart. And exhale, come down. And I want to stay down here and do a few more cobras. So do a few more cobras with me here. Inhaling, heart up. Think of pulling on the mat as you press your pubic bone into the floor. Exhale down. Maybe close your eyes. And your cobras can be really small. Your heart might just come an inch off the floor. And that's great too. Just make sure your breath is moving. Big inhale into your big cobra chest. Big exhale as you release. Okay, maybe close your eyes. Pull your elbows inward as you move. And see if you can use your cobra legs to push down into the floor actively. So push that floor. Okay, come up into your next cobra and then hold it there. Find your sustainable cobra. So the cobra that you can hold without the help of your hands. And indeed, if it feels right for you today, go ahead and float your hands under your shoulders. Pull those elbows inward and breathe. So your back body is doing all the work right now. And so we're just using that back body, giving it some good work. So do keep your hips heavy, like you're trying to point your tailbone at the center of the earth. Okay, even though that seems difficult, that's okay. Point that tailbone down. See if you can lift your heart up and forward a little more with that rooted tailbone feeling. Okay, possibly you'd like to lift your legs. Possibly you want to take your arms behind you. You can even join your hands, interlacing your fingers, and think of moving your hands towards your feet. Expanding that space between your shoulders here as you ground that tailbone. Big breath here, cobras, maybe 3 more breaths. Strong back, 2 more breaths. Last one. Go ahead and let that go. Come all the way down to the mat. And this is a really great time for us to open up shoulders and chest, okay? Especially because we do tend to collect a lot of tension between our shoulders and our chest as we work during the week. So make cactuses out of your arms. So both of your arms are in goalpost position. And then look out at your left arm. And you can use your left fingers on the floor here. Keep your right arm just like it is in goalpost position as you roll onto your right side. So we're going to really get into that right shoulder. And I just want to point out that as you have rolled onto your right side, your right arm is still in that bent elbow position. So once you're here, you have the opportunity to slide your right elbow up or down to make it feel just right. And I'm just going to lift my body to show you that we can slide the elbow up or down to find that perfect spot. And then once you're ready to settle in, you're going to commit by pulling your right knee up and in. And now you're here. So breathe deeply. This is one of those postures where we're going to try to do just the absolute minimum of work, okay? Just enough to make the posture work for us. So if it's too much in your right shoulder, you're going to roll your left shoulder back down toward the mat, and it should be a little less if it's too intense. But if you like the opening in your right shoulder and chest and armpit, I'm going to ask you to press into your right hand a little bit, as if you're trying to push the floor down. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but notice as you do that it really wakes up and allows big release in your right shoulder and chest. Perhaps you'd like to take it a little deeper. Reach up with the left hand. Remember to breathe. Perhaps the left arm may even drop and drape across your back. So we'll spend a few more breaths here. This is a great posture for undoing the effects of our lives. Okay, we tend to do everything in front of us. Our work, cooking, children, gardening, everything is right in front of us. And our arms get stuck in this pattern of being tense in the muscles that move the arm forward. And that's what we're opening up right now. You might feel some emotions that have been stored, some experiences that have been stored in these muscle tissues, kind of surfacing. So just smile and breathe through it all. Maybe take one more really big breath here. And we'll let it go. So take your time rolling back onto your belly. So the left hand is back on the floor. Both legs are extended back to your belly. So we're back in that position where both arms are in a goalpost position. This time we'll switch sides. So we're looking over to the left. We're looking over to the right. And the right hand on the floor was rolling us onto the left side. So before you commit, I want you to make sure you slide your left elbow up or down to make it just right. I like my left elbow a little down on this side. I like my right elbow a little up on the right side. So you might be different too, like me. Once you're ready to commit to this shoulder and chest stretch, then you'll tuck that left knee up and in, okay? And I'll spin around to face you here. So you know we're gonna be here for kind of a while, so get comfortable. And you can get out of this at any time by rolling your chest back toward the floor. That's your way out. But if you're feeling good and you wanna go deeper, you reach up with the right hand and you start to press the floor with your left hand. Like you wanted to push the floor down with your left hand. And what that does is it gives that left side of the chest and shoulder and armpit some activity. And that's actually going to give you a bigger release and a more effective and sustainable stretch. Maybe that right arm just drapes across your back. Close your eyes here. Breathe. Maybe meditate on all the beautiful spaciousness opening up in that left side of your chest. Letting go of that pattern that we fall into of getting tense in the front of the body. See if you could use your breath as a tool to release tension with each exhale, to bring in freshness and possibility with each inhale. Maybe one more really nice big breath right here. And we'll roll out. So come back with the right hand on the floor. Extend the legs. Come on back. From here, you can slide both hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. And this is a great time to just push yourself up and back. We'll take a really wide leg child's pose here. So take your legs really, really, really wide and just press yourself back. Hips back. You can bring that forehead down. Notice how your shoulders and your chest feel after that. Hopefully feels really nice and spacious. From here, my friends, press yourself back up to hands and knees. And if you take both knees out to one side and sit your hips to the other side, you are on a seat, and that's where we'll end our practice today. So take your legs out long in front of you. And I want to do a little folding so we can release the hamstrings and the low back and get more open in that back body. Okay. So we'll start with the right leg pulled in. So the left leg is out long. The right foot is tucked in like you're stepping on your left inner thigh. And feel free to slide the foot up or down. It's really up to you. So we want to do our best to sit up tall here. And if you notice, like a lot of people might notice, that it's hard to sit up straight. Maybe you feel like you have to lean back it's hard to sit up long. Just put a bend in your left knee, and that should really help open up the posture for you, okay? Still the same posture. Even if you can extend the left knee completely, I'm going to ask you to put a slight bend in it so that you can always slide your hand under so that you're not locking the knee. And that way we know the back of the leg is engaged. Okay. Please also engage the front of your leg. That thigh, that left thigh, it should be kind of rocking when you feel it. So rock that quad. Okay, enough talk. Long spine on your inhale. Lift up through your heart. With your exhale, pull your heart towards your left toes. Pull your left toes towards your heart. They want to meet. It doesn't matter how far you go, okay? Inhale back up to a long spine. Exhale, pull the heart and the toes toward each other. One more like that and we'll stay. So inhaling back up. Once more, exhaling, heart forward and hold. Breathe. Your hands are on the floor under your shoulders. You're thinking about opening up the space on the back of your body from your low back all the way down the back of your left leg. If it's comfortable for you, put your elbows down. Do your best to keep a long spine. And breathe. If you feel like you want to point your nose down, go ahead and do that, but keep your neck long, okay? Okay, you're subtly kicking the floor down with the back of your leg. You're subtly lifting your kneecap with the front of your leg. And you might feel that leg just kind of letting go to the point that you could drop your head. But you want to do your best to keep a long spine, no matter what, no matter where you are. All right, beautiful people, maybe one more really long, slow breath to enjoy here. Okay. As you're ready, walk yourself up and out of this. Take your time. And let's turn this into a twist. Kind of recalibrate your spine and massage all the muscles of your torso. Very simple. We'll just pick up the right knee, point it up. The right foot is now on the floor. Okay. The sole of the foot is on the floor. So you can use both your arms here to squeeze that right knee a little closer to your heart. Make sure you can sit up tall. And then just the left arm will hold the right leg. Right fingers behind you. Make your spine long and we'll twist. So on your twisting, I'd like you to have your mantra, something like long spine, inhale. Twist from the belly button, exhale. We're thinking of grounding into that right hip. And sending that belly button to the spine on the exhales. If you'd like to deepen this, take it a little further. You can take the left elbow outside the right knee. But keep your spine long, keep your hips grounded. Feel extra space in your upper body here. Maybe one more really big breath. And let's let that go. So we'll release that back to center. Extend the right leg. And we'll switch sides. So the right leg will be our extended leg here. The left foot will bring in. And we'll step on the right inner thigh. The left knee just drops on the floor. So same as before, you want your longest spine here. And if that feels challenging, it's just not within your reach today, no problem. Just bend that right knee and you can move forward like that, okay? So no matter what, you're engaging your right quad and your right hamstring. The whole leg is active, plugging in and pushing out at the same time. Long spine, inhale. Exhale, right toes and the heart want to be together. Inhale, long spine, up sitting. Exhale, toes together towards your heart. One more and we'll hold up to sitting on your inhale. Fold on your exhale. And hold here with me. And remember to breathe, okay? So what are we looking at here? We're looking at the back of the right leg. We're feeling that. And if we feel it too much, we can bend the right knee more. We can extend it if we want to feel it more. But the leg is active, okay? It's so strong and active here. And that affords us a lot of great release in the low back. And we're still doing our best to keep the spine long. So maybe come to your elbows. Maybe it's appropriate today to come down with your forehead, but long spine no matter where you are. And remember to breathe. Maybe one more breath here. Just let all the day, all the year, just roll off your back here. And then we're rolling it back up. So come on up, no rush. Here comes that little twist. So we're just picking up the left knee, pointing it up. The left foot is now stepping on the floor. Both hands hold the left leg close for a moment. And when you're ready to twist, just the right arm holds the left leg. Left fingers behind you, and you're twisting. So long spine, inhale. Belly button to spine, exhale. Drive down in that left hip. Twists are your opportunity to completely recalibrate and realign your whole spine. And it's such a fantastic massage for not only the musculature of your back, but also your internal organs. The deeper you breathe, the better massaged your organs get. Okay, so maybe you deepen this, right elbow to the inner, right elbow to the outer left knee. Ground those hips. Maybe one more breath here. It feels good. Release that twist. Come on back around to center. Okay, lengthen all two of your legs. And let's see how slowly we can roll down. So challenge yourself here. Let go of your expectations, but just a little challenge. Pulling your belly button inward. Pointing your tailbone to curl at your toes. How many breaths can you take to roll down? One vertebra at a time. Feel your spine unrolling with so much control. When you land, it is time to rest. So find your resting posture, maybe Shavasana, maybe something else. Flip your palms up and tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Close your eyes. And here's where we completely let go. We let go of controlling the breath. We no longer are intentionally deepening it. We're just letting it run free. See if you notice any differences between your natural wild breath pace now and when you started your practice an hour ago. We're no longer controlling any of the body. We're just letting everything completely relax. There's no tension. There's no effort. And we're observing the thoughts the way we would observe kittens playing or clouds floating by, just with amusement and fascination. And give yourself this time just to be present in this moment. This is really the only moment that we have. This is where I will leave you for our practice today. Please keep resting just like this for as long as you can, okay? 5 minutes is ideal as a minimum. Longer is better. I am so pleased that you joined me today. Thank you so much for being part of this little community and taking good care of yourself.